And welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, as we're all set for the battle between the Cortland Dragons and the Trinity University Tigers, a top 25 showcase here in Division III. Hello, everybody. I'm Cole Isaacson, joined alongside Reed Rosales. And Reed, Cortland really took it to the Tigers yesterday, getting up to a 10-0 lead in Game 1 in this 4-game series. What do the Tigers need to do differently today? They've lost 2 in a row.
Well, Cole, I think we're seeing from how the lineup was issued today, a lot of things shaken up for the Tigers. They're trying different things. I think they need to just reevaluate what made them so successful at the start of the year. You know, a series of unfortunate events defensively in the past couple of games have, I think, cost them the last 2.
Total of 4 errors last night for the Tigers, and you see the offensive lineup for the Cortland Red Dragons. Chris Bonacci set to lead things off in center field, followed by Lucas Granger, who hit a home run last night. Nolan Smith hitting third, Luke Shartner in left field, Dylan Tierney on third base, Adam Michkowski doing the designated hitting duties today, Zachary Cringdon catcher, Danny Jackson at second base, and Nick Marola at shortstop in the 9-hole. And on the mound for the Tigers, it'll be Jake Beck, the first year making his 3rd start of the year. Reed, what do you expect out of him today?
Well, Cole, I'm expecting some good stuff out of Jake Beck. He's been pretty solid in his past couple of starts. And Max, he's only allowed 2 runs in an appearance. He hasn't gone a full 5 yet this year. But I think for this pitching staff that is so deep in the bullpen, that they're just hoping to get maybe 5 great innings out of Jake Beck before handing it off to someone else. And if he can go longer, more power to him.
Chris Bonacci will step into the batter's box, set to lead things off for Cortland. Cortland wearing their red jerseys with white pinstripes. Trinity in their new blue uniforms. First pitch, and we're underway with ball 1 from the first-year Beck. Saw the numbers on your screen for Jake Beck. Pretty impressive so far this year, hoping to keep it rolling against probably the best offensive team he's seen so far. Pitch finds the zone for strike 1. But Reed, he faced another great offensive team last weekend against McMurray exactly 1 week ago, and it went pretty well for him. The 1-1, lined in the air, deep right field, drifting foul, and it is barely a close call for Beck.
Yeah, close call, and you're right. He faced a great offense in McMurray. He held the top of that lineup. Very quiet. This Cortland Red Dragon team is really rolling after their lopsided victory in Game 1, though.
The 1-2 in the dirt. Bonacci just missed a leadoff home run, as that was very long gone out of the stadium, just a little bit too far to the right. The 2-2 from Beck. Outside, ball 3. And in danger of losing the leadoff hitter. Bonacci had 2 doubles in last night's game, including one to start things off. The first at-bat of the game last night. The 3-2. Lined into left field. It's a base hit. Bonacci thinking about 2, but he'll be content with a leadoff single. Another good start for Cortland.
Another good start indeed. Great contact off the back. Just gets past Kai Tinker into the outfield. And you'll see it on the replay. Beck's pitch. Just trying to catch that outside area of the zone. Ends up being a good hit.
Brings up the number 2 hitter, Lucas Granger. Got his night started off really hot last night. Takes a strike on the inside edge. A 2-run homer to give Cortland the 2-0 lead before an out was even recorded. He'll be looking to do something similar against another first-year pitcher in Beck. Already a runner on first in Bonacci. Nobody out in the inning. Swing and a miss. Waves at a slider, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Granger, the kid from Horseheads, New York, he really gave a great blast to get off to a great start for the Red Dragons. It was kind of an opening salvo to what would end up being a lopsided affair.
The 0-2. Good take by Granger.
Another thing that these Red Dragons do very well is when they're in a bad situation, they're not afraid to just hit for contact and not for power.
We'll see if Granger can do that here. Down 1-2. Pitch just misses low, 2-2. Similar situation to what Bonacci found himself in. Down on a 2-strike count pretty quickly. Granger trying to battle back. The pitch in the dirt and a full count.
And Beck is trying to get him to chase down low, and he's just not biting at all.
So Granger's battled all the way back from 0-2. He's worked this far to get it to a 3-2 count. Runner goes, pitch outside, ball 4. And in back-to-back games, the first 2 Cortland Dragons will reach in the top of the first.
And that's just kind of a failure in strategy. Maybe should have been a bit more aggressive in trying to get that strike 3 instead of trying to get Granger to just chase. Tried it 4 times, didn't go any of the 4.
Brings up the first baseman, Nolan Smith. Runners on first and second. Takes a pitch just outside, ball 1. Smith had a good night last night. 2 singles in that game, also walked. The 1-0. Just misses again, 2-0. So far, some patient, well-worked at-bats by these Red Dragons. Bonacci waiting on second. Granger on first. Nobody out in the inning. Low, ball 3.
Yeah, Beck has just kind of lost command at this point. Might see an early mound visit to try and calm him down, but right now it is looking like it's going to be the worst possible situation to open.
And we'll see if it is the 3-0. Down the middle, strike 1. Interesting strategy from Nolan Smith. Almost took 2 steps up in the batter's box, getting a little higher as Beck was winding up. Pitch lands for a strike, 3-1. Strike called. Smith disagrees. Flipped the bat. He was headed to first and set. He has to go back with a full count.
He's got to hurry. He's on the clock right now.
We saw an automatic strike called last night. Still not ready to go. Now steps in. And time called.
Yep, time
violation, and that will be strike 3.
I knew it was trouble right from when he started to walk, Cole. It's something that almost happened to the Tigers a couple nights ago. And there's going to be some arguments from the Courtland coach, but it's one thing you can't do anymore. If you start walking, you have to get back quick.
He was back in plenty of time, just didn't step into the box and get ready. See the replay, flips the bat, thinks it's ball 4, and very slowly meanders his way back, and head coach Joe Brown of Courtland not happy with that.
And the rule is the batter has to address the pitcher when he steps into the box, and he's definitely not doing that there.
See, as he steps in, the umpire calls time. Joe Brown still not happy, still trying to argue his case, but Nolan Smith has worked his way back to the dugout. That will be the first out of the inning. Luke Shartner coming up to bat. .333 average on the season, OPS over 850. But the argument continues.
I think Coach Brown just got warned.
We saw this last night as an automatic ball and an automatic strike were handed out before the start of an inning. And both Tim Scannell, the head coach for the Tigers, and Joe Brown were not happy with that. Now just Joe Brown pleading his case alone. For those of you who are just joining us and wondering what just happened, Nolan Smith called out on strikes on a time violation, and that is what has been argued for the last 3 minutes or so. And we'll see how long this will keep going and how long the leash is for these umpires before they warrant an ejection.
and walking a thin line, Cole. I thought some words were going to get him thrown out, but it seems like cooler heads might prevail.
As Coach Brown will work his way back to the third base side, serves as the third base coach for his team. Both dugouts now fired up. One down, runners on first and second. Luke Schartner up to the plate. Thinks about bunting, pulls it back for ball one. Reed, that was a fascinating start to this game. Cortland got out to the 2-0 lead early in the first inning last night, and that was interesting enough. And now we're going to have a meeting. Pitching coach Dave Smith coming out to the mound to talk with Beck. And you would assume after this long delay, just trying to settle him down a little bit.
I think Coach Brown has been warned by both umpires now.
He is not happy and making that very clear. The umpires being very lenient to this point. We saw Tim Scannell walk that line a little bit yesterday. We were wondering if he was going to push it too far and get ejected. Wondering the same thing with Coach Brown right now. Neither coach to this point has gotten ejected. Though there is still time. We'll see. We're only in the first inning.
I think if we have another conversation between Coach Brown and the umpires, that might be an early exit for him.
So Schartner in a 1-0 count. See what Beck has in store after the quick meeting with his catcher and pitching coach. The 1-0, away, ball two.
Beck's trying to get him to chase, but Courtland, they've done their homework. He is not chasing anything that Beck gives him.
Ground ball past the glove of Tinker. Bonacci being waved home. He will score. And it's 1-0 Cortland, and you would think that that will go down as the first error of the night for the Tigers, as defense has been an issue for them these last several games.
Yeah, when you're at the hot corner, Cole, you got to make that play. That's just right under Tinker's glove. I'm not sure what's happening at this point, Cole, defensively for the Tigers. They've been uncharacteristically have holes in the defense.
They have given that a hit, so that will go down as a double for Luke Schartner. First pitch fouled off by Tierney, the third baseman. Tierney, a multi-hit game last night, also struck out twice. Still one down in the inning. Courtland once again getting out to the early lead. It's 1-0 off the double from Luke Schartner. Lucas Granger waiting at third, Schartner at second. Lined to Ramsey, a bobble, and the throw to first in time, but the run will score as Granger is brought home. 2-0 Red Dragons.
And the Red Dragons are just, making the Tigers pay. They're not going to give that error to Kai Tinker, but I think Kai Tinker is thinking to himself, that's a play I wish I could have made. Allows another run to score.
The DH, Michkowski, now up to bat. Did not play in last night's game. Runner still on second, 2 down in the inning. This is lined into left field. Schartner being waved home. He is safe. Michkowski had to go back to first, in with an RBI single. 3-0 Red Dragons.
Yeah, just great job. Keep hitting him. They've kind of figured out Beck really quick. I don't think the Tigers were expecting that. Beck's style of pitching is just not working against the Red Dragons right now.
Zachary Cringdon, the catcher, now up, and another meeting. Pitching coach Dave Smith and Nick Lazara coming up to the mound, and that might be the day for Jake Beck, and it will be. So the Tigers starter only records 2 outs in the first inning, surrenders 3 runs. That is his night. A pitching change in San Antonio, as we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to One Trinity Place in San Antonio. Brandon Morio, the new pitcher, into the game, comes in with a record of 1-0, ERA of 0. Just over 8 innings pitched, the whip comfortably below 1. Trying to get out of this inning. Fires ball 1 to Zachary Cringdon, the catcher. The 1-0 fouled back into the screen, 1-1. Cringdon worked a couple of walks in last night's game. Was taken out early, as several other Red Dragons were, with the score being comfortably in hand. An 11-3 win last night for Cortland. Runner goes, ground ball, chopper to third. Tinker fields it and throws in time to end the inning, but not before Cortland strikes first and fast. It's 3-0 Red Dragons here in Texas. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Cortland leads Trinity 3-0. The lineup for the hometown Trinity Tigers: Colin Singhania leading things off, followed by Maddox McDonald, Nick Lazara doing the catching, Grant Anderson at DH, Kai Tinker at third, Jack Henning, Pierce Matthews, Thomas Moss making the start at second base, and then John Ramsey at short. And pitching for the Red Dragons is Louis Miesla, the senior from Tampa Bay, Florida, the lefty, making his 4th start of the year. Comes in with an ERA below 2, a record of 1-2. Also comes in with his team having a 3-0 lead, a comfortable position and a situation where he might be in line to get his 2nd win of the year. Has to hold down the lead though, fires strike 1 to Singhania.
And he caught that lower corner. Expect that a lot more from Miesla. He has been very good against some very good teams.
The 0-1, lined up the middle. It's a base hit for Singhania. The 2nd night in a row where he reaches base as the first batter of the game for Trinity.
That's a great job from Singhania. I mean, you saw the first pitch, saw him wanting to go with the breaking stuff. You got to expect maybe he'll give you a heater. He did. I think a perfect prediction by Singhania.
So Singhania on first, and Maddox McDonald comes up to the plate. McDonald, a .367 hitter with 18 RBI, takes a ball outside, 1-0. So Trinity falling behind by at least 3 runs for the 3rd consecutive game. Pitch on the inside edge, strike 1. Actually, it's the 4th consecutive game as Nichols also got up 3-0 on the Tigers. So Trinity having to battle back from an early deficit again after they held so many leads in the early part of the year. Pitch away, ball 1 to check that, ball 2 to McDonald. Count is 2-1.
And Misla, he's gone against the likes of Lynchburg, Wittenberg, and he only gave up 2 runs in Johns Hopkins. Red Dragons still didn't go their way, but he was by far the best performing pitcher in that group that went up against the Blue Jays.
And it looks like McDonald has had a strike called on him. So I heard the umpire say 2-2 count, and he does flash the 2-2 sign. So unclear exactly what Maddox McDonald did to earn the automatic strike, but that's the case.
It would be a time violation. It's nearly 90%.
McDonald grounds that to short. Marola will just take the 1 out, and Singhania will advance to second.
I think a smart decision. You could have maybe been aggressive in turn 2, but that could have led to a mistake that we saw yesterday. So instead, just throw over to first, get the easy out. That's what you should be doing if you're the Red Dragons.
So now Nick Lazera batting from the right-handed side against the lefty Misla. Working with Singhania on second. Lazera, a .333 hitter on the season. First pitch outside, ball 1.
He started every Tiger bat with that breaking ball, trying to catch that far corner.
Chopper to third. Throw from Tierney, gets away. Singhania slides into third, now he's coming home. The throw will be in time, they got him. Singhania takes his helmet off, he can't believe it, but it looked like the throw did get in time, 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, it was a close play call. It was a close play. Throw gets away, I don't blame him for trying to come home, but man, that is unfortunate. Great throw in. We'll see it slow motion on the replay. And yeah, it looks like he got the tag applied.
Grant Anderson now comes up to the plate, the DH, the cleanup hitter. Works with 2 down and a runner on first. First pitch from Misla in for strike 1. So it'll go down as you would assume an error as Nick Lazera gets on base. Foul ball. Count now 0-2 to Anderson. Another note from the prior inning, that ball that got past the glove of third baseman Kai Tinker has been changed to an error, so all 3 runs given up by Jake Beck are unearned from that inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Misla made that look easy. Got some help from his defense, though. Singhania thrown out at home. Tigers have a scoreless first. We head to the second on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Brandon Morio back on the mound for the Tigers. Courtland has the 3-0 lead. Morio got the final out of the prior inning and now will be tasked with the second inning of work. bunt dropped down by Jackson. Morio picks it up, fields cleanly. Throw is offline. Danny Jackson headed for second, gets there sliding and safely. Will go down as a hit and a throwing error. The second error of the day for Trinity, and Reed, that has been a problem.
Yeah, Cole, just shouldn't have thrown the ball straight up. I mean, Morio takes it. Danny Jackson's running like a madman. He was going to make it all day, every day. Even if the throw wasn't thrown away, it wasn't going to get him out. So I think the better play would have been to just hold the ball.
Brings up Nick Marola, who did homer in last night's game. Thinks about bunting, but pulls it back for ball one. So once again, Courtland able to get the leadoff runner on base. Morio having to work around some traffic. The 1-0. Drops down the bunt again, but this time it leaks foul. Count is 1-1. You know, Reed, I didn't know that we ran reruns on Tiger Network because this game looks very similar to last night's where Courtland jumped out to the 10-0 lead.
Yeah, it does seem eerily similar, Cole. And eerily similar is the fielding of the Tigers, which has been, I think everyone will agree, lackluster in these past couple of games.
The 1-1. Pitch way outside, 2-1. Cortland had come into the series in San Antonio, losers of 3 in a row, but they changed that last night with their emphatic win and looking to get on a winning streak here. Off to a good start, up 3-0. Ground ball right to Morio. Picks it with his glove. Now has the lead runner in a pickle. And the tag applied by Ramsey. So a good play by Morio, being aggressive, seeing there was an opportunity.
Yeah, I completely agree, Cole. That was the right decision. Don't go to first. Danny Jackson is going to be the faster runner. He's going to be the more dangerous runner. So get him out while you can.
Go down as a fielder's choice for Marola, who is safe at first. 1 down in the inning. A good play by Morio. Tigers able to execute the rundown, which, to be honest, with the way they've been fielding, you never actually know. If you're a Tigers fan, I'm assuming, holding your breath a little bit, but able to execute it perfectly, get the lead runner. The lineup now flips over. Chris Bonacci, 1 for 1 with a single. Tries to bunt, but pulls it back for ball 1. So Reed, Courtland starting to bunt a little bit more. We saw it a little bit last night, but not to this degree.
Yeah, last night they didn't need to bunt because they would just hit the ball out of the park. This time, you know, be conservative, move the runner over.
Fastball lands, strike 1.
I think they're expecting a more competitive game this time. Of course, none of the Tiger starters in the normal rotation were in at pitcher yesterday. More of your mainstay guys coming in today.
Tries a drag bunt that time. Goes foul, and it's 1-2. Talk about these mainstay guys. Brandon Morio has certainly entered himself into that conversation so far to this point in the year, an ERA of 0. And he's become a completely different pitcher. The 1-2 coming soon as Morio checks on Marola at first. Got to talk to Tigers starter Trajan Lee about Brandon Morio, and he said he's a completely different guy. Came in stronger, more confident. I think you're seeing that on the mound so far this season. This is looped foul into the screen above the Tiger dugout. Count still 1-2.
One thing I'm noticing, Cole, is that the Cortland runners are not taking very big leads off the bag. I think their homework has said that the Tigers have gotten a couple guys sleeping.
This is blooped into left. Matthews calls and makes the catch for out number 2.
That's what Morio needs. Now you got 2 outs on the board. You can potentially have a scoreless frame, but Yeah, as I was saying before, the Courtland runners not taking that big of a lead off of the bags. I think they're wisening up to some of the pickoff maneuvers that they've seen on film.
2 down in the inning. Lucas Granger up to the plate. Takes a strike, 0-1. That's a recent development that we've seen from Trinity. In the past, not the best at handling the run game. These staffs that have produced incredible ERAs year over year. But this year, particularly with the addition of Jace Clay, very good at handling the run game.
And it also helps that you do have the lefty on the mound with Mario facing first base to keep Marola in check.
The 0-1 to Granger. High, ball 1. You would think Courtland would love to get Marola over to second base if they can, so that he could score on really any type of hit. The 1-1. Big swing and a foul ball. Count now 1-2. Trinity trying to work a scoreless inning. A game that got out of hand pretty quickly yesterday. Still within reach today, even if it wasn't a good start at all for Trinity. Down 3-0. Mario trying to keep it that way. The 1-2, swing and a miss. That's strike 3. And a scoreless inning worked by Brandon Mario. We head to the bottom of the second. Tigers trying to respond, down 3. Welcome back to Trinity University Ballpark, the bottom of the second. Courtland up 3-0 on Trinity. Kai Tinker set to lead off this inning for the Tigers, a .286 hitter, 12 RBIs, OPS above 900. Facing Louis Miesla in his second inning of work. Hanging on to a 3-0 lead. First pitch high, ball 1. Miesla, one of Courtland's best starters, if not their best, a 1.54 ERA this season. Was a D3 baseball All-American third team last season, showing the work that he put in 2024. This, a chopper to third. Tierney ranges and throws in time to get his counterpart, Kai Tinker.
It was a bit of a close play at first, potentially. The throw over from third. It took a one-hop, a good pick by Smith. I think the Tigers are starting to see a trend, because Miesla started every Tiger bat so far with a breaking ball followed by a fastball. And you can tell the Tigers are sitting on that fastball because they made contact with pretty much every single one.
It's exactly how Colin Singhania managed to get his first hit. Now Jack Henning into the batter's box, making his first start of the season. Following that trend, taking the first pitch, ball 1. Now back-to-back breaking balls from Miesla, so changing things up a little bit, 2-0. Trinity still with the one hit on the day. This is lined into right field, and it finds the grass. So Jack Henning, a good start to his start. Leadoff knock. Check that, a one-out knock for the Tigers.
Yeah, again, it was just sitting and waiting for that fastball. I wonder how much the Tigers are going to be doing that throughout the game. And if Misla will change his course, maybe just start throwing breaking balls. But he hasn't really been locating the breaking ball that too well in this inning, at least.
Pierce Matthews, the left fielder, now up. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. Swung at that breaking ball. Matthews, a 500 hitter in a limited sample size so far. Works with Jack Henning on first, thanks to his one-out single. Swing and a miss, a big one that time, and it's 0-2.
And that's what Misla wants. He wants you to go chopping at his breaking ball. That is his plan. And if you do it, he's going to win.
Matthews quickly behind, 0-2. Takes a pitch, and it just misses. Everybody on Courtland's side seemed to think that was strike three. Looked close.
Yeah, it did look close, Cole. Maybe getting away with one, his Pierce Matthews.
So the 1-2. Henning on first. Swing and a miss. That's strike three. Gets him swinging, and there's two down in the inning.
I think Misla did change his strategy up a bit, Cole, because he just threw breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball. Maybe that had to do something with Pierce Matthews swinging at both breaking balls to start off. So just thinking, well, why not throw it if you are going to swing at it 90% of the time?
Thomas Moss, second baseman, sends one to third. Tierney, the quick throw, and it is in time to end the inning. Another scoreless inning put up by Luis Misla. Courtland still with the 3-0 lead here in San Antonio. We'll head to the third. Stay tuned on Tiger Network. Welcome back. The top of the third inning on the campus of Trinity University. Nolan Smith up, struck out in his only at-bat in the first inning. And the first baseman takes strike one from Brandon Morio. Morio, traditionally a mid to late inning reliever, but they're going to need some length out of him today. He's ahead 0-1. Lined past the dive of Tinker and into left field, a base hit for Nolan Smith, the fourth hit of the day for Courtland.
Now we'll see the pitch from Morio. Broke into the zone. Here we're sitting on it. Great effort by Kai Tinker. He laid out for it, just couldn't quite get there. It was hit with some velocity. A great start for Courtland again.
Now the left fielder, Luke Shartner, up. Shartner 1 for 1 with a double. Tries to drop down the bunt. It goes foul. Excuse me, I have that written as a double because it was originally scored that way, but that was actually changed to an E5. So Shartner 0 for 1 today and does not get credit for the runs that that play drove in. Now behind on Morio, 0-1. Lined but foul into the Cortland bullpen, 0-2.
I might have overshot the Cortland bullpen. That might be rolling down to the parking lot.
I don't know how far that netting continues, but that could have been dangerous for anybody walking by. Shartner behind, 0-2. Way inside, and it hit him. So a free pass to first base, and with nobody out, the Red Dragons have runners on first and second.
Oh, Cole, that's a backbreaker. You have him down 0-2, and you hit him. Let him get away. That is just unfortunate.
Tierney now up, an opportunity to extend the lead for Cortland. Morio held the Red Dragons off the scoreboard in the second. Cortland trying to change things here in the third. Up 3-0, tries to drop down the bunt, pulls it back, ball 1.
Now we're in a very similar situation from an inning ago. Just runners at first and second, needing a big first out.
We'll see if Morio can deliver. Tierney 0-for-1 today, grounded out to short the last time he was up. Time called on the pitcher, Morio. So now a 2-0 count. That is the third time violation we have seen today, and that is the most in a long time that I've seen. The 2-0 bunt, and it's a good one. Treble Henning makes the throw in time, well fielded, and a good cover from the second baseman, Thomas Moss.
Yeah, good cover. He get the out, but he advances the runners. Now big trouble for the Tigers. Sacrifice fly on the table for Cortland. It is tough times for the Tigers.
Go down as an SI in the scorebook. Adam Michkowski, the DH, now up. Pitch way high. Lazera has to go up and get it. The only out recorded in this inning, the sacrifice bunt just a moment ago. Now runners on second and third. Michkowski, an opportunity to blow this open. Did he go? And no, he did not. There is no first base umpire, and Tim Scannell coming out to argue that that indeed was a swing. And as expected, his argument will not be heard. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. And we'll see it on the replay. And that looks like a check swing to me.
Yeah. Good strength to stop the bat there.
Runners on second and third, 2-1, outside, ball 3. And Morio flirting with loading the bases here in the third. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
And now, big time moment for Brandon Morio. You get this out, it's going to be huge for Trinity.
Countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch. Grounded foul, and we'll do it again. Nice pick by Dave Smith, the pitching coach at the Tigers dugout. He still got it.
He went way over his head to pick it, too. That was impressive.
3-2. 2 runners in scoring position. 3-0 Cortland. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Brandon Morio needed that. 2 down in the inning.
Let's see where this goes, Cole. Maybe that can power up Morio. Get him out of the inning.
Last chance for Cortland to drive in those runners. Zachary Cringdon 0-for-1 today, a .310 average on the season. Fastball finds the zone, strike 1. Cringdon working with Smith on third and Shartner on second. Tigers pitching, just trying to keep them in this game as long as they can. The 0-1. Lined, but foul.
I think we're going to see a good replay.
Oh yeah, look at him get it.
You see him jump in the air.
Some competition. Jack Breezy on that as well. Dave Smith saying, no, that's my ball. But important pitch here. 0-2, 2 down. Just high.
I don't blame Mario. Maybe that ball left his hand a bit too early, but try to get him to chase. You got some room to work with, being up so far ahead.
Still ahead, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mario gets into some trouble in the third, but gets out of it unscathed. We head to the bottom of the third in San Antonio. Tigers need some runs, down 3-0. Welcome back to the Alamo City. The 9-hole hitter, John Ramsey, set to lead things off for Trinity. Ramsey, a 186 hitter on the year, an opportunity to improve that in this game. Pitch misses. Ball 1, and Reed, there's that breaking ball from Misla again to start off the at-bat.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to it a bit more, seeing that they're getting some solid contact on his fastball.
The 1-0 lined, sharply into the Tiger dugout. Everybody okay. That was trouble.
They seem pretty chipper about it, though, Cole. That dugout, there's some crazy guys in there.
You're going to see a good angle of it. Everybody getting out of the way. Ooh.
I think Lucino might have gotten hit.
Pitch outside, 2-1. There was somebody on that end that barely looked like got out of the way. You saw the gap all of a sudden get created for the ball to have a path. Fastball misses again, 3-1. See a slower replay of it. I think that was Brandon Nelson right at the end. Just getting out of the way. Nice dodge. Foul ball over there again, and I think that got somebody that time.
I think maybe going off the back leg of Max Milligan.
He seemed to take it like a champ. Not much reaction. Everybody might want to retreat out of the way when John Ramsey comes up to bat from now on. The 3-2. Lined, or blooped, I should say, right to the second baseman, Jackson, for out number 1.
That's a good first out to get. Start of the inning well for Misla. After John Ramsey nearly got rid of multiple Tigers in the dugout, fortunately he has gotten rid of at the plate.
Callan Singhania 1 for 1 today with a base hit to start the game for Trinity. Takes a pitch outside, ball one. Singhania hitting in the leadoff spot for the second consecutive day. Caleb Woodward taking a seat once again. You wonder if this is a matchup thing with Woodward being a lefty and Courtland starting lefties in back-to-back nights. Pitch from Miesla just misses 2-0.
Yeah, Miesla wanted that pitch, but you know, I think also shake up the lineup a little bit. The past couple performances from the Tigers have been lackluster.
Strike down the chute, 2-1.
And when you have two back-to-back performances that have you scratching your head, the one thing you can do when you have as deep of a dugout that the Tigers have is throw some guys in there, see what happens.
Pitch inside, 3-1. Trinity was rolling before these back-to-back losses, 13-1 on the season. They were 12th in runs scored and 16th in ERA. That's a pretty lethal combination. But since then, it's all just dried up. Singhania fouls that into the screen, 3-2.
I think
a lot of it's been the fielding.
Yeah.
Tigers already with 2 errors today, 4 last night, and several against the other loss in the Sales.
It's the old adage, Cole, once is an anomaly, twice is a coincidence, and 3 times is a trend.
3-2, swing and a miss from Singhania. Second strikeout, check that third strikeout of the game for Miesla.
Again, it's that breaking ball, Cole. He's going to go back to it if you keep swinging. I thought they had something maybe sitting on the fastball, but a breaking ball wipes away another Tiger bat.
Now facing Maddox McDonald. Fires a pitch on the inside edge, strike one. Miesla showing an ability to battle back from being behind in the count there. Down 3-1. Big swing and a miss from McDonald, who waves at that. And it's 0-2. So far, this Trinity offense not producing much of anything, down 3-0. Similar story to these last few games. So the hits have just dried up here in San Antonio. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Miesla pumped up, back-to-back strikeouts to end the third. We'll head to the fourth on Tiger Network. We're back in San Antonio, top of the fourth here on the campus of Trinity University. Brandon Morio back on the mound, and he'll face the second baseman, Danny Jackson. Jackson 1 for 1 today with a base hit in the second. Takes a pitch low, 1-0. The sun beginning to set in San Antonio, almost completely down to this point. So the lights are almost in full effect here at the ballpark. The 1-0 misses, 2-0. And Reed, thankfully, it is cooling down. Temperatures in the 90s today. They seem to not be there anymore.
Yeah, Cole. Unfortunately, we're not going to get so lucky tomorrow. But now that the sun is down, things are cool. It's nice. You know, we're at a higher altitude, so it's a bit cooler.
See, that's where I dispute you a little bit. You say we're at a higher altitude, but we're only on the roof of the gym, which is maybe 60 feet higher. Morio fires a strike, 3-1. I don't know how much the altitude has an impact up here. That's just me. I'm not a scientist. I'm a comm major. You can't quote me on that. But that's just my opinion. Pitch high, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Danny Jackson.
I don't know, Cole. Higher altitude, thermodynamics, that's what I've learned. Cooler temperatures is what I've always experienced at higher altitudes.
Well, I agree we're at a higher altitude. It's just, I don't know if it's high enough. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. This might just be one we agree to disagree on. Nick Marola, the 9-hole hitter up. Pops up a bunt, and Morio makes the easy play. Ball ends up on the ground, but they rule it was on the transfer, so it will go down as out number 1.
You know, a bit of a look what I found kind of play. Just a bunt goes wrong. That's the worst possible way it can go wrong.
Straight up into the air. Mario looked up and said, oh, looky here. Throw to first, not in time. Jackson able to dive back safely. The lineup flips over. Chris Bonacci up. 1 for 2 today. Flew out the last time he was up. Singled in the first. Pitch misses low. Count now 1-0. Runner on first is Jackson. 1 down in the inning. Fastball finds the zone. Strike 1.
Yeah, Cole, I think Mario keeps pitching like this. We might see him in his longest appearance to date.
Slicing foul and out of play into the parking lot in left field. Hopefully all cars are fine. As we know they haven't been in the past. It's a dangerous place to keep your vehicle.
Yeah, it's a very compact parking lot too.
The 1-2. Chopper. Ramsey thinks about going to second. Now has to go to first and doesn't get anybody. So the indecision from the first year at shortstop is going to cost the Tigers an out. 2 on, only 1 down in the inning.
Yeah, and you're completely right, Cole. It's the indecision. I think throwing to second probably was the play. I think he had a better chance at getting him at second than at first. Yeah, maybe a bit of a bobble as well for the release.
Either way, it goes down as an E6, and Lucas Granger has a prime opportunity. First pitch misses inside. 3rd error of the day for Trinity. 3 consecutive games with at least 3 errors for the Tigers defense. And Brandon Morio has to be looking around, thinking he's not getting any help. He's making pitches. 1-0 to Granger, misses down, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, it's a lot of ease on the board. It's been a lot of ease on the board for the past couple of games, Cole. That is not what you want to see. That's not a recipe for success, to say the least.
2 on, 1 down in the inning. The 2-0. Big swing and a foul ball off the bat of Granger. Now 2-1.
You know, it's that weak contact that it's getting drawn. Morio's making his pitches, drawing that weak contact. It's just the outs, unfortunately for him, are not coming.
Mario trying to get one here. Behind 2-1. Big swing and a foul ball again. Granger, who hit a 2-run homer in last night's game in the first inning, had visions of another one on that swing.
It's a dangerous position to be in if you're Morio. But, you know, Morio, he's been pretty darn good so far. He'll try to keep up the streak.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Brandon Morio, 1 out away from getting out of this one.
Yeah, nasty breaking ball, falls off the table. And that's the kind of things that the Tigers have come to expect out of the bullpen from Morio.
Will now face a dangerous hitter in Nolan Smith, a .326 hitter on the year. 1 of 2 today. First pitch misses, ball 1. Morio has fallen behind a couple of batters today, but has managed to battle back as somebody seems to be messing with our center field camera out there. Not a lot of wind today, so you would assume that's just somebody on the platform. This is hit in the air. Matthews goes back to the warning track at the wall, and he makes the catch just shy of it. Morio gets out of another jam. 2 runners on, 2 runners left stranded as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back. The bottom of the fourth inning here in San Antonio. Nick Lazera set to lead things off. 327 hitter on the season. 0 for 1 today. Reached on an error, an E5. Takes a pitch outside. 1-0. Louis Miesla still in the game. His fourth inning of work. A lot of accolades for Miesla from last season. Was the D3 Region 3 pitcher of the year. Strike called 1-1.
And you can see why. It's that breaking ball. It's his bread and butter. Doesn't get the call on the first pitch. Moves it in a little so he can get it.
Lazera lines it into center field, a base hit. Second time in this game, the Tigers have had the leadoff runner aboard. Lazera's first hit of the night.
Let's go. Lazera getting on base. I mean, if they can figure out how to hit that breaking ball, they can get it. They can get it. I mean, Nick Lazera already hitting the ball as it came in like a cannoli.
Put a little bit of the gabagool into that one. It's Grant Anderson now up to the plate. They'll check on Lazera, who takes 2 steps to his left and gets back safely. That was an interesting pickoff attempt. First pitch to Anderson, lined sharply but foul. Lazera not getting a very big lead so far, so not necessarily a guy that you think you need to check in on. Takes 2 steps to his right and does not seem to be going anywhere, at least for the time being. The 0-1, ground ball to short. This could be 2. Throw to first is in time. And Miesla, just as quickly as he allows a base runner, erases him.
And this is what the Red Dragons are doing, that the Tigers just ain't. Turning double plays, getting that weak contact, backing up the pitcher, and that results in 2 outs. I mean, Miesla has got to feel very, very comfortable on the mound when he's got such a trusty defense behind him.
Brings up the number 5 hitter, Kai Tinker. Tinker 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to his counterpart at third. First pitch misses inside for ball 1. 6-4-3 on the double play of the bat of Anderson. Marola, Jackson, and Smith all taking part in that one. Pitch inside, ball 2.
We'll see how the approach gets different as, you know, we're in the second time through the order.
Tinker grounds it. Marola makes a nice play. And the throw is scooped in time. So good defense on both sides. The pick from Marola, the throw, and then the scoop by the first baseman Smith gets the Dragons out of the inning. We're heading to the top of the 5th here in South Texas.
All right, if we're...
Top of the 5th here at Trinity University Ballpark. Brandon Morio back on the mound once again as he is making quite the relief appearance. First pitch outside to Luke Shartner, the cleanup hitter. Shartner 0 for 1 today. Reached on an error. He's also been hit by a pitch. Thought about swinging at it and probably should have. Goes down as a strike, 1-1.
You know, Mario, not too different of a pitcher from Misla.
Lined into center field, a base hit, and the first of the day for Luke Shartner.
We'll see the pitch from Mario. Yeah, just broke into a good part for the batter. I mean, when you're a breaking ball pitcher and you give up a hit, that's usually the case. A bit easy to get for Shartner. Now, Mario, once again, traffic on the base paths. He's dealt with it fine so far.
He's had to deal with a lot of traffic. Now he has to deal with Dylan Tierney, 0 for 1 today. Checks on Shartner, who has to dive back. Had a much larger lead than that of Lazera in the prior half inning. First pitch to Tierney. Tries to drop down a bunt, but it goes foul.
Yeah, interesting attempt at a bunt. Missed everything, that ball, because it went off the bat a little bit.
Will go down as 0-1. And head coach Tim Scannell coming out for a chat. Something we see every now and then, not too often. Pitching coach Dave Smith is usually the one who will make the changes and have the conversations with his staff, but this time it's Tim Scannell, and it will be a full infield meeting.
I think maybe Coach Scannell trying to hype up his guys in the infield, because right now, Cole, it's not incorrect to say that Mario, he's got most of the outs himself, because even when he gets ground ball contact, not 100% confident that the play will be made. So maybe that's somewhat what the discussion is about, actually turning the potential double play here if Mario does get Tierney to hit a ground ball.
Something we've seen Courtland execute on their end, and the Tigers have had some opportunities today, just not able to make it happen. 3 errors on the board for Trinity already in this one, not even halfway through. Tierney will settle back in. Mario ready to go, the 0-1. And it gets behind everybody all the way to the backstop. No chance for Lazera. And an easy free 90 for Shartner.
Yeah, it was just a pitch that came out of the hand too early from Mario. And you saw that because it went over everybody. Lazera did not have a chance at getting that ball.
We've seen that backstop come to play a few times, and Shartner looked like he was aware of it, hesitated a little bit between first and second, but ends up taking second base with relative ease. Fastball misses high, brings the count to 2-1.
And now a better count for Tierney. We'll see if he still tries to lay down the bunt. I imagine he'll try until he has 2 strikes. But no, they change things up every now and again.
2-1. Didn't look like he wanted to bunt there. Takes the ball high, 3-1. We saw this in the last inning with Brandon Mario, allowing the first 2 base runners to reach for Courtland, flirting with doing that again.
It's an interesting infield alignment for the Tigers.
Sliced foul. Brings the count full.
Had Henning playing up. You still have Henning kind of playing a bit forward than maybe normally what we see.
Henning all the way up on the infield grass. And now backs up, as it makes no sense for Tierney to bunt with 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4. And the no-out walk handed out by Brandon Mario, runners on first and second.
That just lost him. That's another gut punch plate appearance for Mario, because that was a good chance to get an out. Just can't quite get it. I'll have to try again with the next batter. You still have the double play opportunity.
Adam Michkowski, the designated hitter, into the game. Pulls back a bunt, ball 1. Michkowski 1 for 2 today. He has walked, check that he's singled, and struck out as well.
And makes
Michkowski, the graduate student.
Makes all the sense in the world to bunt, Cole.
That's what they did last time. We'll see if they do it again. The 1-0. Bunt is popped up sky high into foul ground, but Lazera can't get there in time. Fortunately for Michkowski, it was popped up way back towards the screen.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to lay down a bunt off of a Morio pitch. We've seen several attempts go awry. You have to have quite the skills on that bunt stat block.
Second one we've already seen go up into the air. Danger of being caught. The 1-1, they'll try again, pulled back, 2-1.
You see that Michkowski, wisely pulling back, even though his prerogative is to try and bunt. He wants something that he can lay down, Cole.
Look how far in Henning is, all the way in on the infield grass. The 2-1 fouled back into the screen, now 2-2, and Henning will retreat back to his usual position at first base. Thomas Moss was pretty much halfway between first and second, ready to cover first if needed. Two-two. Lined deep on the warning track into right. The catch made by Singhania. Runner tags from third and will get there with ease. Runners at the corners, one down.
Yeah, a long first out, Cole. That's another ball that got a charge put into it off a bat, but just didn't get out. It's important for the Tigers because, you still have that double play opportunity on the table. Only one runner advanced from second to third. But inversely, for the Red Dragons, it's good because now you have the sacrifice fly opportunity.
And the man with that opportunity will be the catcher, Zachary Cringdon. Cringdon 0 for 2 today, grounded out to third. He's also struck out. Still a 300 hitter on the year. Takes a pitch high, ball one. So Morio's gotten out of quite a few jams already. And we'll see if he can get out of another. The Tigers certainly need him to stay in this game. They'll check on the runner at first to no avail.
I wonder if Courtland has the idea of sending Tierney and also sending Shartner. It's a play that you could run. I'm not sure how successful it would be.
They try the bunt. Pulled back 2-0. Runner at third is Shartner. And Tierney at first. Shartner, a pretty big guy, so you'd have to comfortably get home somehow. Not exactly blazing speed coming in from third. Takes a ball low, 3-0. Morio in danger of filling the bases with Red Dragons. Outside ball four, a 4-pitch walk handed out to Cringdon, and the bases are now loaded in the fifth.
It's not the worst outcome in the world, Cole. You got the forced outs at every base. If you force any weak contact, you are sure to likely get the runner at home. Like you said, Shartner is a big guy.
And head coach Joe Brown going to have a quick meeting with his base coaches. That's the delay we're experiencing. Second baseman Jackson ready to hit. He'll have the first crack at this with the bases loaded and one out in the inning. Cortland up 3-0. They jumped on Trinity in the top of the first. Haven't been able to score since, trying to change that here. They've had opportunities, but Brandon Morio has managed to get out of it, and it looks like there will be a pinch hitter. That's Mitchell Kelly, the senior from Webster, New York.
I think a sensible pinch hit, Cole, because Danny Jackson, he's not a power threat. He is a speed threat. Maybe not the best man opportunity-wise.
So it will be Kelly's opportunity. Bases loaded, one out. And we're going to have a meeting And it will actually be a change. So Brandon Morial will not get the opportunity to get out of this jam. His day is done, and a good day it was. 3 scoreless innings of work, getting out of multiple sticky situations. And it will be somebody else's turn to try and get out of this one. We'll be back on Tiger Network, a pitching change in San Antonio. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Bases loaded here in San Antonio, and it will be Sam Rickman's job to get the Tigers out of this situation. The first year from Spring, Texas, making his first appearance of the year. First pitch, lined, and they get the force at home. Throw to first is not in time. So good defensive play by Jack Henning. Throw to home was in time. Alert play getting the force there.
I call it, like I said earlier, you do load the bases, but you get that force out at home plate, and the Tigers utilize it well. Can't quite get the runner at first, but, you know, you're at 2 outs. Dragons need a hit to get in a run now.
That was well hit off the bat of Kelly, but unfortunately for him, right to the waiting Henning. Nick Marola now up 0 for 2. Fouled back into the screen, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Rickman in a tough situation. Bases loaded, 2 down. Trying to keep his team in this game. Facing the dangerous 9-hole batter. Outside. 1-1.
It's a good idea, Cole. I have to think that pitch was somewhat enticing, but Marola not even phased.
One, swing and a miss. You get the feeling this is a massive at-bat. Courtland trying to pull away. Sam Rickman trying to keep the Tigers in this game, seeing if his offense can get going. The 1-2, bases loaded. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. And Sam Rickman's fired up. So is his dugout. He gets out of the jam, down by way of the K. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, still 3-0 Cortland. Welcome back to San Antonio. An eventful top of the fifth takes us to the bottom of the inning. Sam Rickman getting a strikeout with the bases loaded. And now he'll have to wait and see if his offense can get anything going. They have not so far. Only 3 hits through 4 innings. No runs on the board. Jack Henning going to get the first crack at it in this frame. 1 for 1. 333 hitter in a limited sample size so far this year. Pitch outside, ball 1 from Miesla, who remains in the game. Reed, this Tigers offense looking for a spark of some kind. You hope if you're a Tiger fan that was it. Swing and a miss from Henning.
Yeah, Cole, maybe we can transfer the great pitching into some great ABs here for the Tigers. They haven't been short of chances, but it's still, opportunities.
The 1-1 is grounded to short. Marola makes the throw offline, but the tag applied by Smith to get the first out.
Yeah, even though the throw is a bit offline, it's offline in the, probably the best direction, right at the runner. So, easy tag out.
Pierce Matthews now comes up to the plate, struck out in his last at-bat. 0 for 1 today. First pitch, big swing and a miss again, and a similar trend to what we saw in his last at-bat, going for that breaking ball. The 0-1 just misses. Good take by Matthews, 1-1.
Good take indeed. I think Miesla's going to attack him with that breaking ball.
Swing and a miss, and a big one. Matthews takes a small lap, trying to collect himself down 1-2. Ball way high, 2-2.
Yeah, breaking ball slipped out of his hand too early. I don't think he meant it to be that high. If he did, maybe he's thinking 10 steps ahead.
Grounded to Marola again. He's been busy and fires to first in time. He's recorded the last 3 outs for Courtland.
Yeah, Cole, he's been busy, but he's been pretty perfect over there at that position. Courtland, they have just locked down their defenses. They are not letting anything really get through to them.
So after all the emotions in the top of the 5th, quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the frame. Thomas Moss comes up to the plate, the second baseman, 0 for 1 today. Pitch low, 1-0. Two down in the inning, nobody on, 3-0 game. Pitch inside to Moss, misses, 2-0. Reed, nothing to quiet momentum like your ace pitcher.
Exactly, Cole. It's what he's out there to do. Be that dude on the mound.
The 2-0 finds the zone, 2-1.
He's been shoving, and the Tigers have essentially no response right now, it seems.
The 2-1. Thought about going, but a called strike. Ooh, we'll see about that one. He'll go down as strike number 2. The 2-2 pitch, 2 down in the inning. Grounded foul, and Moss stays alive.
Just trying to get a 2-out rally going, Thomas Moss. He can definitely get something started if he can get something on base. It's just the matter of getting on base first.
Miesla's been very good in that category. Did Moss go around? Yes, he did. A strikeout to end the inning. 5 scoreless frames from Louis Miesla. Still 3-0 Red Dragons here in Game 2 of this 4-game series. We're back for the top of the 6th here on the campus of Trinity University. The score is the same as it was at the end of the first, 3-0 Courtland, as many zeros have been put on the board since then. Leading it off for Courtland will be their leadoff hitter, Chris Bonacci. First pitch from Rickman misses away, and it's 1-0. Bonacci 1 for 3 today, reached on an error by the shortstop John Ramsey in his last plate appearance. He's also had a single today. Pitch finds the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, that first pitch went out of Lazara's glove in a very weird way. I thought he caught it, and then it just shot off his glove.
Strike 2 from Rickman. Trying to carry his momentum. Got the final 2 outs with the bases loaded in the top of the 5th. We'll see how many more outs he can provide this Trinity team. The 1-2. Fouled off, and Bonacci will stay alive.
I love how Rickman is just not afraid to attack these Cortland batters. He is not shying away from the challenge.
See what he delivers here. 1-2. That's strike 3. Bonacci goes down looking. Another strikeout for Rickman. That's back-to-back Ks.
That breaking ball broke into the zone. I mean, I can understand why Bonacci was frozen at that.
So back-to-back strikeouts for the first-year Sam Rickman. Will now face the number 2 hitter, Lucas Granger. Tries to drop down a bunt, but it goes foul. And the Trinity dugout claiming that it hit him.
It did hit him. It hit him in his head.
So Tim Scannell coming out wondering why that isn't an out.
I'd be curious to see on the from up here, from what I saw, I thought it hit him in the head after the bunt.
See the replay now. Yep, right on the lid. So Scannell understandably frustrated with that missed call. Though the call may have been that the batter never left the box. They will now have a 3-umpire conference. Scannell's objection has been raised, and they'll all see what they saw.
Yeah, I think that would be Courtland's argument, that never left the box, so it should just be a foul ball.
And in these cases, the call will usually stand, and that is what appears to have happened here. So Granger will step back in the box. 0 for 2 today. He struck out twice. He's also walked. That pitch finds the zone, 0-2.
And one thing Rickman is doing is putting these Cortland bats in bad positions early, being down 0-2.
Yanks that one. It's 1-2. Looked like just hung on to it a little too long. Rickman, who's already recorded the first out of this inning, trying to get the next 2. Ahead 1-2 on Granger. Fastball misses, 2-2.
I think a good idea. Try to get him to chase that fastball a bit outside the zone. Good idea.
Two. Hit sharply, but foul into the screen right in front of us. Good thing it's there.
Yeah. No, a couple years ago it would be a chain link fence.
The 2-2 from Rickman against Granger. Chopper, Ramsey ranging over, collects it, throws in time. Nice stretch by Henning at first to reel that in. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, got him to chase on a pitch, and that's why the contact was so poor. Gave Ramsey a chance to field and throw, and Henning with the great stretch. A good play defensively, especially by Henning, because the throw from Ramsey a bit offline.
Will now face Nolan Smith, 1 for 3 today. One hit, a single, takes a strike. Nice cut on that fastball, 83. Rickman so far not throwing very hard, but he's locating quite well, particularly with that breaking ball. He's retired the first 2 Red Dragons he's seen in this inning. Pitch outside. Brings the count to 1-1.
Yeah, he's very similar to another Tiger on the pitching staff, Hoggett. Very similar style.
This is hit out in the air to center field. McDonald is there, ranges back and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning worked by the first-year Sam Rickman sends us to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers trying to get their bats going when we come back. We're back for the bottom of the 6th here in the Alamo City. The 9-hole hitter for Trinity, John Ramsey, set to lead things off. 0 for 1 today, lined out to second. It was a soft liner. Miesla back on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Fires strike 1 to Ramsey. That was only his 59th pitch of the game. Very efficient from the Courtland ace.
Yeah, super efficient, and now he's starting to locate that breaking ball, which should be a whole bunch of red flags for the Tigers.
Pitch catches the zone, 0-2.
That was a big thing that the Tigers needed to really hit him up hard early with that fastball, because once he starts locating that breaking ball, it's not looking too great.
This is hit sharply, but foul over the Courtland bullpen. So Ramsey stays alive, still 0-2 against Miesla. The 0-2, swing and a miss. That's strike 3 and another strikeout for Louis Miesla.
Now Ramsey goes down. It's another efficient AB for Miesla going up against these Tigers. Yeah, Miesla's just been electric on the mound.
Will now face the top of the order, Callan Singhania. 1 of 2 today. Struck out the last time he was up. He's also singled. Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Miesla definitely a step up from his last outing where he pitched 4 innings against Johns Hopkins, gave up 6 hits and 5 runs. Only 2 of those were earned though. Pitch high, ball 2. Similar situation to what Jake Beck found himself in tonight, just with more length. Beck giving up 3 runs in the top of the first, none of which were earned. The 2-0. Lined past Miesla directly into center field. And Singhania's aboard with his 2nd hit of the night.
It's a great start for the Tigers after getting that first out recorded quickly. Callan Singhania, that was a little scary past Miesla. That's one of those as a pitcher, you go, oof.
Maddox McDonald now in the batter's box, struck out the last time he was up. Big swing and a foul ball. 0-1. McDonald, one of Miesla's 6 strikeout victims so far tonight. The big thing for Miesla is he hasn't walked anybody yet. This was a Trinity team that came into this stretch of games, 6 games in 7 days, where they were second in the country in walks drawn. Swing and a miss from McDonald, 0-2. It was a big part of their success, being patient, taking advantage of poor pitching. Not the case these last several days, especially tonight. The 0-2. Big swing and a miss, gets in the dirt. They throw back to first, trying to nab Singhania, who's back safely. It will just go down as the 2nd strikeout of the night for Maddox McDonald.
Yeah, Miesla just made McDonald look silly. Every pitch, McDonald was swinging wildly, and it's no wonder why he got dispatched so early.
So Singhania still waiting on first, trying to become the first Trinity run of the night. Nick Lazera trying to drive him in. Lazera, a base hit the last time he was up. He's actually reached base in both plate appearances. Strike called, 0-1. Reached on an error in the first inning. Trying to extend this inning. 2 down. Lined into left field. It's a base hit. Singhania stopping at second, thought about going to third. It's a 2-out knock for Nick Lazera.
We'll see if the 2-out rally is in effect, Cole. It's a good base knock for Lazera. We'll see on the replay. Good job just sticking the bat out there, hitting it in that gap. Now, with a runner in scoring position, it's been a while since that's been the case for the Tigers.
Grant Anderson up to the plate. 0 for 2 today, a 296 hitter. And correct me if I'm wrong, Reed, but I think this is the first time all night Trinity has had 2 base runners on at the same time. This is chopped towards the Trinity dugout, a foul.
Heck, I'm trying to remember. I thought, yeah, in the bottom of the first, I think we had 2 base runners on.
Yes, you're right. And Singhania was nabbed at home. That was the closest the Tigers came to scoring. Now with a runner on second. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Grant Anderson.
And the one difference here, Cole, is that back then, there's only 1 out on the board. This time, there's 2 outs.
Singhania on second, Lazera on first. Grant Anderson trying to deliver. The 0-2, outside, ball 1.
It's a tight line to walk, Cole, if you're Grant Anderson. I'm sure he really wants to tee off on a breaking ball, but Miesla's not going to give him one that easily.
The line has gone strikeout, single, strikeout, single. We'll see what this is. Swing and a miss. It's a strikeout. Miesla strikes out the side and works a scoreless 6th. He's had an unbelievable night tonight as he has completely shut down the Trinity Tigers, hanging on to a 3-0 lead for his Cortland Dragons. Welcome back. The final third of this game, top of the 7th here in San Antonio. Courtland up to bat. Luke Shartner, the cleanup hitter, takes a ball. Check that, it's a strike. Catches the inside part of the plate. Sam Rickman back on the mound for the Tigers. He's worked 1.2 scoreless innings so far. Worked a 1-2-3 inning, his last appearance. This is softly hit, and Henning will step on first for the out. Very weird play. That ball hung in the air for quite some time before falling at the feet of Henning, but he makes the play for out number 1.
Yeah, no, just a pitch, run in, not good contact. It was a great pitch from Rickman.
Brings up the third baseman, Tierney. Coming up with nobody on and 1 out. Sort of a check swing, foul ball into the screen. Brings the count to 0-1.
And, you know, yeah, this Cortland offense, as of now, I mean, could change in these next couple of innings. It's not been as electric as they were yesterday against the Tiger pitching staff, so that is an upside for Trinity.
It's the one thing Courtland hasn't been able to do tonight is extend the lead like they did last night. Pitch misses away, 2-1. It was 2-0 in the blink of an eye for Courtland, but they were able to add on, making it 5-0, and then eventually 10-0. The final of 11-3, an absolute trouncing of the Tigers. But so far, Trinity's bullpen has kept them in this one. That pitch lands for a strike, 2-2.
That's a good breaking ball that re-entered the zone.
One down in the inning. Pitch from Rickman. This is hit deep out into right field, back at the wall, and it's off the wall at the 360 mark in right. McDonald will make the throw in, and it is a stand-up double for Tierney. His first hit of the game.
Try to get him with the fastball, but I think that was not the right pitch to make. We're getting him with the breaking stuff, but he punishes the fastball. Hit it into that alley. Yeah, stand-up double, but it's kind of the first really solid contact they've had against Rickman ever since he's come in.
It is the first hit given up by Sam Rickman in this game. Adam Michkowski coming in to try and extend the Courtland lead. Slider misses outside, ball 1. Oh, once again, Reed, Courtland has a runner in scoring position. We'll see if they can do anything with it. A wall ball double. Swing and a miss from Michkowski. Tierney on second. Now the 1-1. Fouled off into the screen behind Michkowski. 1-2 now. Michkowski does have a hit on the day. It was a single in the first, and it drove in a run. Part of the 3-0 lead Courtland currently has. Trying to drive in another one here with Shartner on second. Ground ball. Tinker looks back the runner, throws across the diamond in time. And the 5-3 putout is complete.
Again, just contact, trying to hit it. Hits over the ball. You know, great play over the diamond by Kai Tinker.
Brings up Zachary Cringdon. Walked the last time he was up. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Still a 300 average on the year. Last chance to drive in Tierney on second. Fires a strike, 0-1. So far, a very nice Trinity debut for Sam Rickman. The 0-1. Fouled into the screen, 0-2. Rickman, who had changed numbers recently, now number 47. That was previously Noah Flanagan's number. So far, it's doing him good. Trying to finish off this inning. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2.
A good idea from Rickman. I mean, you have the leeway to make a pitch like that, see full chase. But yeah, jersey changes, pretty common for the Tigers as of late.
The 1-2 from Rickman in his debut. This is lined but fouled onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, and we lost it. Not a record breaker.
Not even close.
Didn't have the angle. We'll do the 1-2 again. Cringdon hanging in there, staying alive. Breaking ball misses high, 2-2. And Cringdon has battled back to make the count even.
Yeah, I don't think that was the location Rickman was looking for. Then pitch left his hand a bit too early.
Outside, ball 3. And a very nice at-bat from Cringdon. Trying to extend the inning, give the bottom of the order an opportunity. Kelly waiting on deck, a pinch hitter the last time his position in the order was up. The 3-2. Lifted into right field, and this should score a run. Tierney coming around from third. He is in. Ball lost all the way at the warning track. So Cringdon hunts down a triple. 4-0 Red Dragons.
The pitch from Rickman. It was a good reach by the batter. And, you know, Maddox McDonald just missed the play. He didn't get there in time. It rolled to the wall. And it's just more troubles for the Tigers. You know, Courtland finally figuring out Tiger pitching a little bit, and Trinity just hasn't done the same.
They've extended the lead to 4-0. See if this is a conversation or a pitching change. Looking to see what kind of movement we get out of the bullpen. It looks like this will just be a conversation with Sam Rickman. The unfortunate recipient of some unfortunate defense out there in the outfield. Now the runner on third in Cringdon. Now Tayon Elkins will come into the game, pinch hitter for Kelly. Started last night's game at second base. This is where he will presumably take over. First pitch from Rickman misses, ball 1. Courtland has extended this lead 4-0 off the triple from Cringdon. And the Tigers have shown little evidence that they will be able to match that number. Still a game. Trinity can come back. We've seen them come back for more than this before, but as of now, the offense just hasn't been there.
Yeah, no, it hasn't, Cole. You know, with different pinch hitters for Courtland, like Talon, and you see him right now.
The 2-0 misses, 3-0, and wonder if Rickman rattled a little bit by the massive triple. Gave up the at-bat prior to this. Still 2 down in the inning, runner on third. The 3-0 finds the zone, 3-1. Walk, not the worst thing in the world. The last thing you want to do is give up a hit and allow Courtland to score that 5th run. The 3-1 misses inside, and that will be ball 4. So Elkins reaches base in his first plate appearance, sets up the bottom of the order and Marola.
And the Tigers got a couple arms warming up, and I think one of them's coming in.
Dave Smith coming out to the mound, and that will be the day for Sam Rickman. A good debut overall, though he does give up the 1 run in his final inning of work. Pitching change in the Alamo City. We'll be back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the top of the 7th. New pitcher in for the Tigers. It's Andrew Mason. Comes in with a record of 0-1 ERA above 10. Just over 4 innings pitched on the season. And his job will be to come in and get the Tigers out of another jam. Down 4-0 with runners at the corners. Nick Marola up to the plate, the shortstop. First pitch fouled off, 0-1. Marola struck out the last time he was up. And Lazera had a good lick in the face off that foul ball. Seems to be okay, though. That's what the mask is for. The 0-1 from Mason. And he hit him. So the breaking ball didn't break, hits Marola, and the bases are now filled with Red Dragons.
It's a tough start. I don't believe the 3 batters minimum is a thing in college baseball.
I don't think it is, but either way, the Tigers not exercising their option to pull Mason. He will face Chris Bonacci, 1 for 4 today. Takes a strike, fastball.
Once again, Cole, you've got every base as a force out. And the only thing you want to avoid is either a hit by pitch or a walk.
Bonacci an opportunity to extend the lead. Pitch in the dirt, a good block by Lazera. That could have scored a run if it got away.
We know that the Tigers have plenty of arms in the bullpen. It's not uncommon for guys to face 1 batter and then have a new arm in the next time just for a better matchup.
The 1-1 skipped in. Lazera able to block it, but that pitch was not even close to the plate.
There is a
Mason now behind 2-1 to the leadoff man, Bonacci. Inside, ball 3. And in danger of walking in the 5th Courtland run, nowhere to put him. The pitch, outside, ball 4. And that'll go down as an RBI for Chris Bonacci. A bases loaded walk handed out by Andrew Mason. Lucas Gardner coming up to the plate. Courtland now with a 5-0 lead. A hit by pitch and a walk handed out by Tigers pitcher Andrew Mason. This is hit in the air, but drifting foul, and it will land on the Bell Center 1-2, and we lost sight of it. Not a record breaker.
No, went under the pipe. That'll kill your record.
That'll kill any momentum. Granger, the 0-1. Pitch misses again, and so far Mason struggling with his control.
Yeah, Cole, it's been a couple of tough outings for Mason. But, just have to get the one out here, and you're out of the inning.
2 down, the 0-1. Gardner thought about it, but the pitch missed. Brings the count to 1-1, still 2 down in the inning. Check that, the count 2-1, scoreboard just updated. Courtland has put 2 runs to the plate in the top of the 7th. Still with the bases loaded, trying to add on, up 5-0. Fastball just low. 3-1 again, and Mason in danger of walking in his 2nd run of the night. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4, and that will be another Courtland run. Lucas Granger drawing the 2-out walk.
Yeah, unfortunate, Cole. Just unfortunate. Run goes up. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen, so this is Mason's inning. He's got to get out of it.
And he'll have to get out of it by going through Nolan Smith. Smith has flown out the last 2 times he's been up to the plate, does have a base hit and a strikeout. Comes up with the bases loaded again. Ground ball into center field. 1 run scores, another coming around. A 2 RBI single for Nolan Smith. And this game has been blown open. 8-0 Red Dragons.
Yep, up the middle, good effort by John Ramsey to try and get to it, but just put in a bad spot for the infielders. Yeah, scores more runs. Game is thoroughly out of hand at this point.
So now runners at the corners with 2 down. Pitch inside, ball 1. Cortland now with runners at the corners, 2 down in the inning. Ball's fouled into the screen. When Smith came up to the plate, that was all 9 Cortland batters coming up in the 7th inning. So now the man who led off the inning, Shartner, now in a 1-1 count. Thought about going, runner will take second with ease, and Smith as he slides safely, now 2 in scoring position.
Yeah, no point in throwing to second base. 1, because you risk Granger coming in to score. 2, because probably not going to catch Smith running to second.
Think about how this all started with the triple off the bat of Cringdon. Brought in Tierney, who had a double in the inning. And since then, it has just unraveled for Trinity. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mason 1 strike away from getting out of this one. 2-2 count, 2 down in the inning. Courtland now up 8-0 in this one. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3, but maybe a little too late for Andrew Mason, as 5 runs come to score for the Cortland Red Dragons in this one. It is 8-0 Courtland as they lead in Trinity, bottom of the 7th, coming at you next. Welcome back. The bottom of the 7th in San Antonio, a beautiful 79-degree night here in South Texas. Beautiful for everybody but the Tigers, who find themselves on the wrong end of an 8-0 game. Leading it off for Trinity will be the middle of the order, Kai Tinker. Tinker, the third baseman, is grounded out in both of his at-bats. He's 0 for 2, takes strike 1 from a new pitcher in the game for Courtland, Nick Hansen, the graduate student from Ladera Ranch, California, making his 4th appearance of the season. Hansen with a 7.2 ERA, an opportunity to lower that in this outing. His team comfortably ahead, 8-0. Pitch away, 1-1. A lot of that due to the efforts of the starting pitcher in this game, Luis Misla, who pitches 6 scoreless innings with no walks and no runs allowed. The 1-1 just misses. Not so sure about that one, but Tinker will take it, 2-1. The read, Misla was excellent tonight, and the Tigers just had no way of getting to him.
No, Misla probably could have come back out here and completed the game if he wanted to.
2-1 pitch, fouled off, brings the count to 2-2.
Yeah, he was excellent. His breaking ball was working. He made some Tiger ABs look just bunk right off the bat.
That breaking ball was excellent, and Trinity still held off the scoreboard to this point. Only 5 hits on the night. Tinker lifts this one close to us on the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3, 4, not a record breaker. Now the 2-2 count from Hansen. Ball high, 3-2. So the Tigers on the wrong end of an 11-3 score in last night's game, absolutely blown out by Courtland, coming off of a 3-game losing streak at that point. Now they're trending towards 2 wins in a row and at least splitting this series. Pitch misses away, and I guess that is not ball 4. Count seems to now be at 3-2. And apparently it is ball 4. Tinker a little bit slow to get rid of his protection, but now heads to first base. That is the first walk allowed by Cortland pitching.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if that was not a ball, I have no idea what a ball would be. I was very confused when Tinker stayed there.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere. It was a full count. I thought that I thought that's what it was. The count was wrong because he didn't go anywhere. And in a full count, you have to go somewhere. You were either going back to the dugout or you're going to first base. He ends up going to first base. Pinch hitter in for the Tigers. It's Will Baker, who traditionally would start at first base. He replaces Jack Henning. Works with Tinker on first, nobody out. Takes a strike from Hansen. Hansen, in his last appearance, pitched 1.2 innings against Rutgers Camden, allowed 4 hits and 4 earned runs. Most of that because of 4 walks. He's already walked 1 today. Trying to turn things around, getting an opportunity to do so with a lot of run support. Big swing and a foul ball looping over the road behind the baseball stadium. Good thing it did. There were a couple of cars coming by at the same time that was fouled off.
Nope, just goes over Kings Court, though.
Baker now behind 0-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. First strikeout of the night for Hansen.
Yep, great strikeout. The Tigers at this point just trying to get anything going offensively, pick up any momentum heading into games 3 and 4. Because right now the offense is just stalled.
The batter now is Max Milligan, who's pinch hitting for Pierce Matthews. Milligan, who took a foul ball on the leg from the dugout, now getting some playing time. Takes a pitch low, 1-0. Milligan homered in the Tigers' last victory Tuesday against Nichols. It was a 2-run shot that tied the game at 3. Game the Tigers won 8-3. The 1-0 taken inside 2-0. For those of you who did not join us last year, Max Milligan is a beekeeper from Amarillo, Texas, or at least his family does that. That's the industry that they're in, and they move quite a lot of honey. I have it somewhere in my notes exactly how much honey they move, but you would be surprised at the amount. Tinker bluffs like he's going, but eventually works his way back to first. But just an interesting note about somebody who plays for the Trinity Tiger organization. Something unexpected. You don't really think that people would be a beekeeper, but here we are.
Yeah, Cole, maybe that's what the Tigers need is, maybe when a Tiger gets a hit, they get a honey candy.
Maybe. Milligan ahead, 3-1. Working with Tinker on first. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the count is now full with 1 down. So Milligan working away. Fouled off. We'll do the full count again.
Just keep fighting if you're Max Milligan. He's putting up a great fight for a Tiger going up against Courtland pitching. It's good to see that the guys that are getting pinch hit are showing fight.
3-2 pitch again. Lined into right field. It's a base hit. Tinker going first to third. He'll get there comfortably as the throw is cut off. A 1-out knock for Max Milligan.
And there we go. Stung it into right field. Gets runners on the corners. If the Tigers are going to score, Cole, I would feel as if it would be now.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Now Thomas Moss comes up to the plate, the second baseman making his first start of the season. Now runners at the corners, 1 down. Moss 0 for 2 today, struck out the last time he was up. First pitch just misses. Looked good from here, but must have been a little bit outside or high. Either way, 1-0. Hansen trying to keep the Tigers off the scoreboard. Fastball finds the zone, 1-1. Trinity was mostly held off the scoreboard last night. A solo home run by Brandon Nelson, the only run they had for some time. Bottom of the ninth, they were able to scratch 2 runs, make the score 11-3. Runner goes, pitch gets away. Tinker coming home, standing up, and there is the run. Throw to third, not going to be in time. Milligan goes first to third on the wild pitch, and the Tigers are on the board.
Well, Cole, once again, the Tigers are not going to get shut out. And that is the best thing that could happen. Great boost for morale, because if you don't score there, then I don't know what momentum you bring into games 3 and 4.
And that will be the day for Hansen. Only records 1 out, gives up the run on the wild pitch, and is in charge of Milligan on third. Or at least you'd think that would be the day. Nobody's jogging out from the Courtland bullpen quite yet. I saw the point being made. And so far, this is just a meeting. And it looks like Hansen will actually remain in the game. I saw the point from Joe Brown, but nobody coming out of the bullpen. So he will get the opportunity to leave Milligan stranded himself.
You know, when the score is what it is, Cole, might as well, even if there is trouble on the mound. It's a situation that isn't really that high stakes. Just let him try and get out of the jam.
So Moss in a 2-1 count. Pitch misses, 3-1. Now you might be thinking, why would he be pulled in the middle of an at-bat? Or why would you think that he would be pulled in the middle of an at-bat? Well, if you've watched enough Trinity Tiger baseball, you know that Dave Smith is not afraid to pull anybody in a 1-1 count. Pitch outside, ball 4. And another walk drawn by the Trinity Tigers. This one by Thomas Moss puts runners at the corners.
Yeah, it's just a good job staying patient. You know, when you get in that batter's count, you know, especially the younger players might get a bit foolhardy and swing out with all they got. But no, Moss, very patient, takes the walk.
Now John Ramsey up to the plate, 0 for 2 today, struck out the last time he was up. Trying to drive in the second Trinity run of the game. Pitch outside, ball 1. We've mentioned it, I think last night especially, being down as much as they were, but Trinity has come back from worse in past years. They've been in adverse situations this year, particularly a game against TLU and a game against McMurray. Some 9th inning rallies there, not quite to this extent, but who knows? Pitch outside, 2-0. I guess what I'm saying is don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere yet.
Right now, for Hansen on the mound, he's really got to start locating or else he's going to threaten to get the bases juiced.
2-0 pitch to Ramsey. Ground ball, chopper to third, and not fielded cleanly. Throw to first will not be in time. Ramsey beats it out. Milligan scores on the play, and it's 8-2.
I'm kind of really the first bobble defensively in a while for Cortland. That E is going to flash, and I think appropriately so. That play is fielded properly. You definitely get Ramsey out at first, but instead, the challenges are going to continue for Hansen.
So Moss at second, Ramsey at first, and the top of the lineup, a pinch hitter, Jack Spence, in the game for Trinity. The first year out of Corpus Christi takes strike 1. Spence trying to deliver. Pinch hitting for Callan Singhania. Fouled off, 0-2. Singhania, good day today as the leadoff hitter, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. And if you look who's on deck, it's number 24, Caleb Woodward. So Woodward, who had not made the last 2 starts, getting an opportunity to get back into the lineup. The only 2 starts that Caleb Woodward hadn't made to this point. Looping foul towards the stands, but will end up in King's Court behind them. Count 0-2. Hansen trying to find his way out of this inning, only one out on the board. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. And it is the second strikeout of the game for Hansen. So it brings up Caleb Woodward, a regular in this lineup usually, had played and started in every single game for Trinity before 2 nights ago, was held out of the lineup. Excuse me, last night. Was held out of these last 2 games against Cortland, but finally gets some action and enters the game.
And we'll see what he can do. And when you do sit on the bench for a game or 2, maybe you get some time to think about how to approach the plate again.
Pitch outside, ball 1. And this inning with 2 down and 2 on, 2 runs already across might be important, not for this game, but maybe for other games in the series, trying to make Cortland use some of their more high leverage arms. Takes a pitch high, 2-0. If you can make this a 3-run game, force Cortland to burn a closer, there you go.
Yeah, that would certainly be a success goal. Relying on Woody to get on base, but he's another patient bat.
Ahead 2-0. Outside, ball 3. Woodward just a couple of nights ago worked 3 walks in a game. Trying to work one here and make the bases loaded. Pitch down the chute, strike 3. Woodward now in a 3-1 count, 2 down in the inning, trying to extend it for Trinity. Fastball down the middle again, and now the count is full. Full count, 2 outs in the innings. Both runners will be off and running with the pitch. Moss at second, Ramsey at first. Runners go. Hit in the air. Right field, back at the wall, and it's off the wall. Moss is in to score. In comes Ramsey. Woodward charging in for third, dives in safely. A 2 RBI triple for Caleb Woodward, and it's a 4-run game.
Oh boy, Cole. That is what Caleb Woodward needs. Comes in as a pinch hitter. A bit of a meatball served up to him. Cranks one out deep into right field off the wall, and that is going to make this game a bit closer. We mentioned that Cortland might be forced to close a burner if it gets any closer. They keep hitting like they are. It's becoming more of a possibility.
And now you wonder if this will be the day for Hansen, responsible for the runs on the board, though unsure if those will be earned or not, as Ramsey reached with the E5. And this will be the day for Hansen. He leaves the game, allowing 4 runs. This is now an 8-4 game. Lazara will come up to bat when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. This is a 4-run game between Cortland and the Tigers. New pitcher in for Cortland. It's Dan Collins, ERA of 27. He'll have an opportunity to lower that with this appearance. Fires a breaking ball for strike one against Nick Lazera, who's 2 for 3 today, over a .350 hitter on the season. Back-to-back singles in his last 2 plate appearances. Trying to make this a 3-run game with Woodward on third. Pitch from Collins misses low, 1-1. Slider finds the zone, and it's 1-2. Collins trying to get out of the jam. This is already an inning where the Tigers have scored 4 runs. The offense has woken up just a little bit. The 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2.
Oh boy, Cole, it's another heart racer. Lazera, he could make this game a bit more interesting.
Count now even at 2-2, 2 down. Check swing in the dirt, a good take by Lazera.
All right, Cole, and you notice those infielders, they're playing back. They're expecting Lazera to make solid contact if he does make contact.
Full count, 2 down. Woodward at third. Lined into left field, it's a fair ball. Woodward comes in to score. Lazera hustling in for second, or he thought about it. He'll be content with 1, as that took a weird hop off the bullpen in left field. This is now an 8-5 game.
Oh boy, Cole. You know, that 2-out rally thing I mentioned time and time again. I said I wondered if it was in effect this inning. I feel like it might be, potentially.
And now another pinch hitter for Trinity. It will be Brandon Nelson replacing Nick Lazera. So one thing that the pitching substitution did is the Tigers sat a lot of their high-profile lefty bats, and now they're all coming in. You see Woodward, Milligan, and now Brandon Nelson replacing Grant Anderson at designated hitter. Nelson, who hit a home run just last night. Lazera waiting on first. Pitch to Nelson in the dirt. Ball 1.
It's a crazy moment, Cole. I think maybe Cortland opened a Pandora's box that they weren't expecting to open with all these pinch hitters coming out now.
It was an odd lineup for Trinity, and I said to you off air, they'll have a lot of pinch hitters available. Here they all are. Pitch away from Nelson, 2-0. Two and 0 to Nelson. Lazera on first. Pitch away, ball 3. And after the base hit given up to Lazera, Dan Collins, the first year from Poughkeepsie, struggling to find some of his command. We'll see if he can battle back in this at-bat. The 3-0. Right down the middle, strike 1. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Collins battles back to make the count full. Brandon Nelson trying to make things a bit more interesting. 5 runs in the inning for Trinity already. 2 down. Collins trying to get out of it. Fouled off, will do it again.
A good defensive swing from Nelson. It was close enough to where maybe it could break into the zone. A good job.
Lazera should be off and running with this pitch. Time called. Three-two pitch coming up. Brandon Nelson calling time. The offense finally waking up for the Tigers. It was a lot of zeros on the bottom part of the scoreboard. 6 of them to be specific. Now all of a sudden a 5 follows them up, making this game a little more interesting. The 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Collins limits the damage mode. Oh, it's been done. 5 runs put up in the inning, matching the 5 that Courtland scored in the top of the 7th. It's 8-5. Top of the 8th coming up next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. This is now an interesting ball game again. Cortland had blown it open. It was 8-0, and the Tigers answering Cortland's 5-run inning with a 5-run frame of their own. Dylan Tierney set to lead things off in the top of the 8th and lines one into right field, a base hit immediately given up by Andrew Mason, who remains in the game after surrendering quite a few runs in the 7th. Tigers putting their faith in him as he faces the top of this lineup. Check that, the middle of this lineup. Mitch Kowski now up to bat, the designated hitter. 1 for 4 today. Drops down a bunt. It's a solid one. Tinker picks it up, and Mitch Kowski stumbles. Makes that out a lot easier than it would have been, but the sacrifice is complete.
Yeah, I think the turf monster just grabbing hold of Michkowski. Yeah, it just that makes it a bit easier, the decision to throw to second or first when the guy stumbles.
Now Zachary Cringdon up to bat, the catcher, whose triple in the last inning really got the party started for Courtland. 1 for 4 today. First pitch from Mason lands in the zone. Breaking ball. 0-1. Tierney waiting on second. Tigers trying to complete the comeback in the bottom of the 8th. But Andrew Mason's got to do his job first and hold this deficit to 3. Count now 1-1 after that pitch. Cortland winning game 1, 11-3, trying to at least secure a split here in San Antonio. Big swing and a miss from Cringdon, excuse me. Mason now ahead, 1-2. Runner on second, 1 down in the inning. Line sharply but foul, and we'll do it again at 1-2. Reed, Trinity just trying to get off the mat. They got smacked around yesterday. They were smacked around for most of this game, and a little bit of punch back for the first time in a while from the Tigers.
Yeah, Cole, it's nice to see that they've gotten up to try and defend themselves in their home.
The 1-2, driven in the air, deep to left field. Woodward ranging from center. He won't make the catch. It's Milligan in left making the catch instead. That ball pretty much exactly in between them. But the catch is made regardless.
Yeah, Cole, nearly a disaster. I mean, you can see I have no idea how they didn't run into each other out there, but some communication needs to happen between the outfielders on a play like that.
That is actually Jack Spence out there in left field. A nice catch made. Lots of defensive substitutions. New pitcher coming in for the Tigers. It looks like that'll be the day for Andrew Mason. But just before we leave, we'll run through the defensive substitutions. Jack Spence in left. Caleb Woodward takes over in center. Max Milligan in right. The infield remaining largely the same. Will Baker takes over at first. Michael Lustina at second. And Matthias Riding takes over behind the dish. A new pitcher coming in for Trinity when we come back here in the top of the 8th. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning. 2 outs in the frame, and it'll be up to the new Tigers pitcher Will Taylor to collect the third, an ERA of 0 and a record of 1-0. 7 strikeouts, 4 walks for the first year out of Greenwood Village, Colorado. For those of you who had joined us for previous games, Reed Rosales, my broadcast partner, is his peer tutor, and we'll see how well he taught his pupil trying to get out of the jam. First pitch misses low, ball 1. Will Taylor working against the pinch hitter Mark Stockhausen, who entered last night's game. Pitch misses low, ball 1. Excuse me, that's still Tayon Elkins. I thought I saw the number 17, but still Elkins in the game, who pinch hit a couple of innings ago and has been at second base ever since. He's ahead 2-0 on Taylor. Trying to work around the runner on second in Tierney. Pitch away, 3-0. So Taylor trying to settle in.
It's interesting, Cole, because I feel as though Will Taylor works better against righties, but a lefty matchup right off the bat.
3-0 pitch. Finds the zone with a fastball. Strike 1. We've talked about how Will Taylor can change his speeds on his fastball. That one in at 82. It can go as high as 86 and as low as 79. We'll see what he elects to do here at 3-1. Strike call, that one at 75.
Cole, we've talked about it before. He is an unconventional pitcher in every definition of the word.
Steps off. Ready for the 3-2 pitch. 2 down in the inning. Tierney will be off and running. Outside ball 4.
I think a good idea, Cole. The breaking ball off the plate, trying to get him to chase. You still have 4 outs at every base.
So Elkins, who had worked a walk in the 7th, works a walk in the 8th and extends the inning. And now the dangerous 9-hole hitter, Nick Marola. 0 for 3 today. Trying to come through for his Red Dragons, who didn't break through with runners in scoring position really until the top of the 7th. First pitch fouled off into the screen. Remember, Brandon Morio was keeping them off the scoreboard for quite some time, keeping the Tigers in that game, inning after inning. Eventually, they broke through and broke it open at 8-0, but Trinity bounces back, a 5-run inning of their own. It's 8-5. Pitch to Marola in the dirt. Gets away from Writing for a second, but everybody will stay put on the bases.
Yeah, great job by Writing to not let that get by him, or else you have the runners advance, and that is a much messier situation.
Tierney, likely already scoring with a base hit, would not want to add Elkins to that list. The 1-1 pitch from Taylor. Just misses. Must have been outside. 2-1. The 2-1. Driven in the air to right field. Milligan sees it, has it at the warning track, and it ends the inning. So Will Taylor gets out of the sticky situation. This is still a 3-run game, and the Tigers are up to bat when we come back. Welcome back to the Alamo City, and we've got a baseball game. It's 8-5, Courtland with the lead in game 2, and they're bringing in their guy they trust to close out games, Ryan Banks, a 1.42 ERA in just over 6 innings pitched. The whip just a hair over 1, and that strikeout to walk ratio. 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. He comes in to face the middle of the order, and third baseman Kai Tinker. First pitch, a fastball high and inside. Last appearance for Ryan Banks, 2.2 innings pitched against John Hopkins, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run allowed. The 1-0, driven sky high into the air. Elkins calls for it at second and makes the catch, a quick out number 1.
And Cole, I think this is the sign that Cortland realizes that, oh boy, this has become a game again when they're throwing Banks out there. I think you'd like to keep him for future games, but now you kind of have to burn him here. It's not like it's a 9th inning save situation. He's coming in the 8th.
Will Baker comes up with 1 out, takes strike 1. Baker 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, a pinch hitter in this game. A regular starter, or at least he has been for at least the last week. Pitch outside, 1-1. Tigers trying to get some late inning magic, and this would be quite the comeback. Not quite as big as the Babson comeback a year ago, as Baker hits this one into center field. The catch is made by Bonacci. Well hit, but Bonacci there to make the catch for out number 2.
The good thing, though, Cole, is that the contact was solid. And that's what you can really take away from that play. Otherwise, it's a very simple line out. The wind is kind of picked up here again later on in the game, similar to yesterday. So now, some interesting factors.
So far, Banks doing his job. Misses with the first pitch to Max Milligan. Milligan with a base hit in the 7th, 1 for 1 today. 281 hitter on the year. Pitch inside. Now 2-0. And the other thing with Banks is that he is a lefty, so all of these usually starting left-handed bats for the Tigers that they've pinch hit. Now the lefty-lefty matchup probably advantage Courtland. The 2-0 finds the zone, strike 1.
It's kind of crazy how that difference really makes a really big impact on this game, Cole.
2 down in the inning for Banks, facing Milligan. Swing and a miss, now 2-2.
But the Tigers need to figure out how to hit the lefties. They're going to want to come back in this one.
Deuces are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouled off, we'll do it again. The wind starting to pick up, coming in from left field, home plate way. Milligan has that to contend with as well, in the opposite direction of where it usually blows. 2-2 pitch. Did he go? No. And it looked like Cringdon got the worst of that pitch. I was on the ground for a second, now up. We'll see it on the replay.
Yeah, he didn't catch it, took it, and the chest protector. Even with the chest protector, it just doesn't feel good to be hit by a baseball.
Now 3-2. Milligan has worked this count full. Tigers looking for a 2-out rally. Otherwise, they'll be down to their final 3 outs. Grounded to second. Elkins makes the easy throw in time. And Ryan Banks comes in and does his job, a 1-2-3-8 as we head to the top of the 9th in San Antonio. Courtland protecting a 3-run lead. Top of the 9th inning in San Antonio. The top of the lineup coming up for Courtland. Chris Bonacci walked the last time he was up in the 7th. Also has a hit today and has reached on an error. 1 for 4 in total. Faces the Tigers pitcher Will Taylor, who finished the last inning. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Courtland looking for some insurance. This game a little too close for comfort for them as they were up 8-0 before.
Yeah, Cole, and when you have that big lead and you give up that 5 spot,
Taylor throws a strike.
Makes things interesting. And then you have to burn your expert closer. We'll see how that affects games 3 and 4.
Pitch misses low, 2-1, and that's what we were saying when the Tigers were making that rally. They had 4 runs at the time. Said, hey, if you can get one more and make them burn an excellent relief pitcher, all the better. For Hopper to Lustina, who makes the throw to first in time for out number 1.
Yeah, there are no B's over at second base. Only one, Michael Lustina.
I don't know what it is. I've always gotten Milligan and Lustina confused. Maybe it's both seniors, both blonde hair. I don't know, similar players and people, both very, very nice people. Lucas Granger now into the batter's box. Fouls the first pitch into the screen. Granger 0 for 3 today, trying to change that here in the 9th. Pitch from Taylor misses high, 1-1. Taylor trying to keep his ERA at 0, where it entered today. Skips a ball in the dirt. We talked about how unorthodox he is, from his leg kick to his varying pitching speeds. Just a very funky guy for the Tigers to throw out there. And I think that's the word that I've come to describe him as, just funky.
It's a good descriptor.
Pitch misses low and inside, 3-1. So Taylor falling behind Granger. And he loses him. A 1-out walk handed out by the first year.
An unfortunate loss of the batter there. But, you know, double plays on the table. We've seen Taylor get some weak contact out of these batters. Definitely shouldn't set off alarm bells for the first year, but if he can get himself in a scoring position, maybe that'll change.
Fires strike 1 to Nolan Smith. A 2-hit day for Smith, 2 for 5 on the night. Working with Granger at first. We'll see if Courtland decides to be aggressive, trying to put an insurance run into scoring position. Grounded, could be 2. Flip to short. On to first in time, and Will Taylor gets out of the inning. A twin killing sends us to the bottom of the 9th. Tigers need runs. Get your rally caps ready. Welcome back. It's the bottom of the 9th in San Antonio. Courtland protecting an 8-5 lead. And the first batter for Trinity in this inning will be Michael Lustina. trying to get the rally started with the bottom of the order. First pitch inside, 1-0. Banks has not recorded a save on the season yet, trying to get his first tonight. Fouled off, 1-1.
It's a big moment here for Lustina. You know, the production at the plate, maybe not what he wanted coming into this. If he can get a rally started with a good hit.
Fastball down the middle, 1-2.
Lustina choosing to watch that one, seeing what he has.
Now the 1-2 count. Getting the leadoff man, always important in these situations. Outside, 2-2.
He's trying to get him on that breaking ball. He's tried to curl a couple in the zone from a similar location, just missed that one that time.
We'll see what Banks does here. 2-2, nobody out. Grounded to third, throw all the way across the diamond is in time. And a nice play by Tierney to get out number 1.
Excellent play, followed by an incredible throw. It's the hardest throw in the infield, Cole, across the diamond, and he did it with perfect accuracy as well. And Smith barely had to move.
Perfect throw and plenty of time. Now the 9-hole hitter, John Ramsey, up to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Tigers with the bottom of the order to start off this inning. Big swing and a miss from Ramsey. And you would ideally like to not have to do this all with 2 outs if you're Trinity. Ramsey trying to keep them out of that predicament. Pitch is high. 1-1. There will be a pinch hitter coming up on deck. It's Cal Coney who will replace Jack Spence. The 1-1 pitch to Ramsey. Finds the zone, strike 2. So nice cut on that one from Banks. Ramsey trying to stay alive. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Ball in the dirt. Throw to first to finish the job is in time, and there's 2 away.
And again, Cole, it's just bottom of that Tiger order, maybe not some of the stronger bats. Trying to get a rally started. It was a tall task. And now, you're right, it's going to have to be done with 2 outs. They scored a lot of runs with 2 outs last time. They're going to have to do it again, Cole.
And it will have to begin with Cal Coney, who's come up big in these types of situations before. The game-winning hit in Seguin against TLU in Game 2 of that series. An inning where the Tigers were down 5 at the start of the 9th. Excuse me, down 3. Pitch inside to Coney, 1-0. Game the Tigers won 6-5 and ended up sweeping that series as a part of a 7-0 start to their year. Now in danger of losing 3 straight if Coney can't find a way on. Strike called on the inside part of the plate, and that didn't catch much of it. Now a 1-1 count. In the dirt.
Cole, you mentioned Cal Coney coming big in these situations. He also got the Tigers started off really nice in that comeback in Game 3 against McMurray to complete the sweep of that series as well.
The 2-1. Ground ball to short. Elkins makes the throw, and the Red Dragons take Game 2. They have secured, at the very least, a split in San Antonio. and have sent the Tigers now to their 3rd consecutive loss.
Yeah, Cole, it's just another tough day for the Tigers. Again, it's 8-5. 3 of those runs for the Red Dragons unearned. Those defensive errors still biting the Tigers. And I think maybe in that ending game huddle, it's going to be another topic of conversation for these Tigers who have started to slip, and now questions are starting to be asked on what the approach is for tomorrow.
5 runs, 7th inning proves not to be enough in their comeback effort. They were down 8-0, and it proved to be just a little bit too much. Well, that's it from us here in San Antonio. We hope that you tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time for Game 3 of this series. Game 4 will be on Sunday at noon. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to everybody working in the control room here in San Antonio and on camera. For me and my partner, Reed Rosales, I've been Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio. See you tomorrow.